Hello and welcome, Twitch chat and YouTube, to a Vintage League on a Wednesday night. Starting this up like with normal time, 7 p.m. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to play a Vintage League with this Stoneforge Mystic Brew, and then we're going to play a prelim directly following it with like a more tier 1 deck like Saga Tinker. So what is this Stoneforge Mystic Brew? I've actually played it a couple times in challenges. It is a kind of a metagame bullet, I would call it, something that directly attacks what is currently good in the metagame. It's a little bit different than the last time we played it. The big addition is there are a lot of Tinker running. There's a lot of Tinker decks running around. The addition of Archon of Emeria seems like a pretty easy inclusion to help combat that. Once this deck originally in the very beginning had Mystic Sanctuary and like the full Xerox engine with Mystic Sanctuary and Gush, Preordains, Delph spells, and since then has just shifted towards a more tempo oriented and mana denial kind of plan with the not full set of wastelands, but 3 wastelands and a strip mine. And we're just not playing Gush and Mystic Sanctuary anymore.
Magic Pog.
So without Mystic Sanctuary and Gush, I think you actually play a pretty fine game through Archon. The biggest downside to Archon I can see in a deck like this is that we don't actually ramp to it very well. There's no Mana Crypt, there's no Noble Hierarch, there's no full set of Moxen. So you are playing a turn 3 Archon for the most part, which might not be fast enough. But it should be fast enough given that we have Lavinias, Forces, Flusters. I kind of started tuning the deck a little bit to be kind of in line with the whole Bant Archon deck, where you're playing kind of a Hate Bears Force strategy. The nice thing here is instead of playing like Tarmogoyf, you are playing Stoneforge Mystic Batterskull and Stoneforge Mystic Cauldron Complete, especially Stoneforge Mystic Cauldron Complete, which I think is quite fast and quite powerful. So you get a lot of upsides. Like against shops, I think that having basics in Stoneforge Mystic is usually quite strong. You have 4 Swords of Plowshares deck, which answers the metagame fairly well. I think having Wastelands in your deck is pretty strong in the metagame as well. Lavinia, another one that's doing pretty well right now. Saga Tinker is a big deck. Hollowvine's a big deck. Theo is a big deck. So Lavinia should theoretically be strong. What else? Teferi, you know, if there's a lot of Tinker decks, Teferi is really annoying for Tinker decks to play against.
Stoneforge hype.
Teferi is a little weak to Saga, so that's something to be aware of. And then you do get a really powerful sideboard card in Serenity, which really hoses shops pretty well, but it also is pretty good against Saga decks. This kills Urza Saga, the tokens the Saga generated, any of the Moxen that are in play. And it usually doesn't hurt you very much as Cauldron Complete is indestructible. You don't have very many artifacts in general. So Serenity, I think, actually a pretty strong inclusion in the sideboard. So it looks pretty underpowered, and I would say, you know, it definitely trends towards more of the lower power level, like bug style decks in Vintage. But I actually think it has some reasonable game against the main decks in the format. All right, welcome to round 1 of this Vintage League with Stoneforge Mystic. We don't have a companion this time, but we do have Core Artificers, which is interesting. Our opponent was last seen playing Oath of Druids. We're going to check that with Probe. If they are playing Oath of Druids, it's pretty annoying. We don't have that many cards that are specifically very good against Oath, though this Teferi should help us. If we can get a Stoneforge Mystic to resolve on turn 2 and a Teferi to bounce an Oath, we can maybe buy some time. Oh, we kind of just have to counter Oath. I don't really have it set up to beat Oath very well. I don't know if this version has Prismatic Ending. I don't think we do. I believe I cut Prismatic Ending because I couldn't get it up to 3. And I really wanted my Prismatic Ending to hit 3. That could be incorrect. But you don't really have very many good answers to Oath. So we'll see what happens here. I'm definitely going to keep this hand, though. We have Probe, which lets us see what the heck's going on, and then we have cantrips and ancestrals. So it is possible that you still want to play a Prismatic Ending even if you can't make it to 3, but Let's first check to see if we are in fact versus Oath. Looks like we are in fact against Oath. That or like a Rug Planeswalker deck. They already have both a Force and a Flusterstorm, which is going to make our life pretty challenging. I do think it's worth getting the Force out of their hand if possible, so I would rather just cast this Ancestral on their upkeep. And I think if it resolves, we're okay with that, and if it gets countered, we're also okay with that. Especially because they don't exactly have great cards to pitch. If they pitch Fluster, if we can make it to an Oath, then our Force might resolve. If they pitch Preordain, they don't have a turn 1 play, and their Fluster looks pretty bad. If they pitch Oko, well, we certainly don't want them playing Oko either. So it looks like they've decided to keep Preordain, land, Fluster, which, I mean, that's a pretty non-threatening hand, so I'm okay with it, especially if they're going to hold open Fluster, which playing Stoneforge Mystic into Teferi Time Raveler is a pretty good sequence against opponent holding open Flusterstorm, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to get the fast clock in Cauldron Complete, and now a question will be, do we want to put in Cauldron Complete on the next turn, or do we want to jam a Teferi while we know it's likely to resolve? It would be an interesting question to ask on turn 3. We do have the mana sources to cast Preordain and put a Cauldron Complete in play and just make it a 4-turn clock. Opponent has to find an answer. Their answer is probably just Oko or Oath. Obviously, Oko is a pretty good one, so it's nice that we were able to get the Oko out of our opponent's hand before we, put a Cauldron Complete in play. They did draw this Black Lotus, and this Black Lotus drew them into another Oko, which is not good for the home team. So I think now the correct play is to bash this Oko and play a new Stoneforge Mystic. Let's start by playing a land and attacking Oko. And then I think what we'll do is we'll crack for a Tundra and cast Preordain. Swords is an interesting one, because Swords is actually very good against Oath. If you're able to resolve a Swords on their creatures, like if they hit Niv Mizzet and you resolve a Swords on it, and then they hit a Grizzlebrand and you resolve a Swords on it, it can be a way to win. It's a little hard to do, but I don't know if any of these cards are worth keeping for now. I think what we really want to see is just Force, probably. We are shuffling away with the Stoneforge Mystic, so we could only keep one if we wanted to keep one. I think I'm just going to bottom both. Archon is an interesting one, but not a particularly good one. And then, yeah, I want to make sure I pressure this Oko here. And so I'm just going to play a Cauldron Complete and play a Stoneforge Mystic and get a Batterskull. So my opponent is on Preordain Flusterstorm. I am going to misstep the shit out of this Preordain. I don't want my opponent finding any pieces. They can't actually protect this Oko currently. So I wonder if they're willing to fluster this mental misstep. That'll be an interesting choice for them. They were not willing to fluster that. So they're just going to turn off the other Stoneforge Mystic so that we can't put in a Batterskull or a Cauldron. Hold open Flusterstorm. That makes a lot of sense to me. That's totally fine. So will we respect Lightning Bolt as a top deck? No. I don't really see a good reason to respect a Lightning Bolt out of Oath. So I'm just going to attack this Oko with only one of these. And then we're just going to continue playing cards that don't matter if Flusterstorm doesn't do anything against. And we're going to just slam an Archon here. So even if they draw Preordains now, they can't really draw their way out of this game. They're actually on a 2-turn clock as well. Another upside of not respecting Lightning Bolt is that we have 8 power. So I'm liking the look of this game. It's kind of interesting. We didn't cast any forces in this game, but we have been able to control what they're doing. Pretty happy so far. Well, that dog emote is great. What? Level 1 hype train emote. Can I use it? I like it. Okay, so they drew into an orchard after shuffling. They still have a fluster. Comes in tap because of Archon. Yeah, this looks really strong for us. Lavinia. I think it makes more sense to just get to Fairy Resolve. Trying to figure out if they did draw a removal spell, it would be a Braid, and Lavinia wouldn't change the clock, right? That's like the only removal spell they would. I guess they could play like a Braid or Fire Prophecy. I don't think a Lavinia changes the clock, and I don't think a Lavinia matters at the moment, so I'm just gonna play a Teferi. I'm not gonna bounce anything, I'm just gonna plus this. A cool thing is I could always bounce my Stoneforge Mystic and replay it, and then attack with a Cauldron Complete at some point if I wanted to. I don't know if that would ever come up in this game itself, but in general, it's something we could do. All right, so that was sweet. I think what we want is we want Negation and Trap and Fluster. And I don't think we want Serenity. It's just too slow. It's the downside to not playing stuff like Disenchant, Fragmentize, Prismatic Ending is you obviously weaken your Oath matchup, but Oath is always just so little of the metagame, it's not really worth worrying about. In these kind of matchups, I think you don't actually need the full package. I usually like to take out a Stoneforge and a Batterskull. And then I kind of think I just want to take out another creature like a Jace. Jace doesn't seem like it does too much. But we still have our clocks. Like, we can't really take out all of our creatures or anything like that. So there's like something to be said about Surgical Extraction. It's not the strongest play, but it might be something we could consider. I think it's okay to have 2 swords. I don't know if I would want more than 2 swords, but I don't think 2 swords is a bad idea. Like, I'm not convinced like this Lavinia is very good, for instance. I don't even think Archon of Emeria is fine, but it's not exactly a fast clock, and if my opponent plays Oath of Druid, it's kind of a liability. But like I said, I don't believe we can really... I think we kind of just have to make sure Oath never hits the table. And maybe the answer to Oath never hitting the table is to, like, counter it and surgical it, but let's try it like this for now. Like, is this a hand that I'm actually willing to keep versus a 7-card Oath hand? Probably not. I guess I would have to hit Force off of my Preordain. Doesn't really seem like it would be a hand that we could actually win games versus Oath with. I guess so. I could keep Double Force, but I think we probably need this Stoneforge Mystic. Let's just push this away instead. All right, so we have a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic, we have a Wasteland, and we have a Force. It's not the worst hand I've ever kept. Definitely not the strongest hand, though. Another blue card gives us Double Force Stoneforge Mystic, which is interesting. top bottom on preordain, 5 cards in hand. I wonder if I'm supposed to probe my opponent's hand to see if they have additional blue lands so that I could maybe wasteland them here. I think that's acceptable. I don't think losing double force right away is going to be bad. Could be though. Could be game losing. I think it's worth seeing. I think the information is just too valuable. My opponent has Ancestral Island, Force, and Oath of Druids. Okay. Well, I am not going to wasteland their red source, as it doesn't seem like that matters. I guess, yeah, because I don't have double force now, so if they fight over Ancestral... Yeah, alright, cool. It's going to be a very hard hand to beat, because even if they Ancestral and I force it and they force back and then they play an Oath, I just can't do anything about it, really. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very good matchup when I don't play things like Disenchant. I do think that I'm probably supposed to fight over this, though. And then they're going to play Force Pitching Preordain, and they draw 3 new ones. And if they hit a green source, then they get to play Oath. And if they hit an Orchard... Oh, they did not hit a green source. That is interesting. Okay, well... That's good. Let's... Do I risk time walking here? I don't think I want to time walk here. I'm pretty sure I just want to play a Stoneforge Mystic and get the clock in play. Okay. We are pretty dead to Oath. Is this Gush? Okay, they're just looking for a green source. If we hit a land, we can Teferi bounce the Oath, buys us a turn, and then we could time walk. They didn't hit a green source again. So they have 7 cards in their hand. One of them is a land. One of them, or they have 8 cards in their hand. One is a land, one is an Oath, and 6 are unknown. Wow, that's incredible. All right, I'm down. And they have to discard. Wow, okay. Probably just a bunch of counter magic. Nature's Claim. My opponent brought in Nature's Claim versus me. That is not a card that I would recommend bringing in versus me. Well, I have a lot of options here. I have Archon, Teferi, Kaldra, and Time Walk. I'm pretty sure we just put the clock on. There's something to be said about playing an Archon here, but I think it walks into Force of Will too much. And I think the clock is meaningful, especially when I have Time Walk and Teferi to possibly, you know, snag a win with the clock. All right, they still have no green source. Currently not a 2-turn clock. I wonder if the play is something along the lines of Preordain, find a land, Archon. I guess we could just Time Walk and put them to 2. They could be playing Pyroblast, and maybe the best play is just to play Archon. I'm not going to play around a bounce spell, like by holding open my Stoneforge Mystic. Don't think that really gets us anywhere. I think my plan here is attack for 6 and play an Archon, and they kind of have to force it, right? Well, yeah, so Archon is lethal, so they have to force it if they have a force, in which case we have a lethal Time Walk on the turn following. Okay. So they did pitch an Oko. Yeah, so they kind of have to have... They can't have a Forbidden Orchard now, actually. Because if they have Forbidden Orchard to cast Oath, that's 7 damage. So they actually have to draw Tropical Island. And they can't have a fetch land to cast Oath either. They have to draw actual Tropical Island here to live. Which is really powerful for us. I feel like we scammed our opponent this game pretty hard. I think we would have just been fish out of water against any green land. But... So we could get scammed here if my opponent casts Oath of Druids Time Walk. That is how we would get scammed. However, we would beat Grizzlebrand if they have no more forces. Because we have Teferi to bounce Grizzlebrand attack for 6. I think my opponent is realizing that their green source has killed them. Because this is 6. Oh, no, they could play Oko. Yeah, okay, so Oko turned my Cauldron Complete into an Elk is 4 damage. But we actually beat that with Time Walk. If they have no Pyroblast and no Fluster. So a land helps us beat Fluster. A Fluster helps us beat Fluster. And Mental Misstep or Fluster helps us beat Pyroblast. Dig through time. So if we just hit this, they have to have Force. But then they make an Elk. If they have Force, they make an Elk. It's probably fine. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I'm a little worried about attacking it. I want to play Time Walk before I attack so that I know how to attack in the best way. But I don't think I have that luxury at all. I think I just have to attack them and hope it works. I guess I could theoretically get dazed as well. Did work out. Yeah, I was really hoping for a way where I could cast a Time Walk in my first main. I could have Wastelanded in draw step. That is an interesting point. Wasteland, yeah, I guess that's because I know what my card is already. Yeah, I should have Wastelanded in draw step. I didn't have a stop in my draw step. I didn't think about that, but that is a good play. Well done, chat. Yeah, so if I had a stop in my draw step, I actually think I definitely would Wasteland in my draw step there and Time Walk in my first main so that I could figure, like if they countered my Time Walk, then I have to think, oh, should I attack 4 damage at Oko? That probably doesn't work for me very well either, so I don't know if it ends up mattering very much. Like if my Time Walk was to get Force of Negated, would I attack Oko here? And I think the answer is probably no. Well, maybe it's yes, because then they would steal my Cauldron for a Pearl. I don't know how that ends up working out. I do have a Teferi. It ends up getting more complicated. Let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it there. Round 2. Vintage League. We've actually found a wild Max Pullman. If you go through deck lists, you may know this name as someone who experiments with non-blue decks in Vintage a lot. Allosaurus Rider, Dark Depths, that kind of thing. Max has been doing university studying things and hasn't been playing much Magic Online. So it's interesting to see that he has found some time here for a Vintage League. Theoretically, Wasteland and Strip Mine and Mental Misstep are good against Max. The rest of this hand doesn't do very much, but I actually think it's pretty okay to keep. I'm gonna... Oh, man. I want to fire this off. I don't think I would ever keep this hand in the blind unless I knew my... If my opponent was on... If I knew my opponent played Bazaar of Baghdad, I might keep this hand. I would definitely keep this hand if my opponent was playing Bazaar of Baghdad, but I think against Max, I kind of like keeping this. Maybe that's a greedy play, and I shouldn't be doing that. And Max has blue decks in his range. Rug is definitely a deck Max has played a lot, so we'll see if I get punished for it. Okay, it's a Once Upon a Time. Are we playing against Turbo Depths? Is that the play? Let's find out. If I can encounter an Elvish Reclaimer with a Mental Misstep, I'll be pretty happy. All right, Thespian Stage. Savannah. Deafening Silence. Deafening Silence. Yeah, we're okay with the Deafening Silence. We're an Archon deck. So I wish I could get a Plains with this. I wonder if I'm just supposed to Wasteland them. I kind of want to just put the Stoneforge in play. I think I'm just going to put the Stoneforge in play. I'm a little worried about my my Tundra getting Wastelanded, but then I guess I can just Wasteland them back and play Preordain, so it's pretty good for me. Max is saying in chat how he can't wait to get Tinkered twice, and then after I played the Stoneforge Mystic, he said PO is so busted it can play a Squire in it. I didn't know this. All right, so let's see what gets deployed. So the downside of playing Stoneforge Mystic on this turn is that if my opponent does play a 2-drop, I don't actually have counterplay, but they did not play a 2-drop. So yeah, that means I think it looks pretty good for me here. I basically don't play Magic off stream anymore. I almost play no Magic off stream. So the answer would be on stream, because I play very, very little Magic off stream these days. I don't find it as fun as it used to be. So is there any compelling reason to Wasteland? So what I could do is I could Wasteland this Savannah pre-combat, and then in the beginning of combat activate my Stoneforge Mystic, and then I can't get my Germ Swords. I don't know if that's something I'm actually worried about, but I have so many Wastelands, I don't think I'm worried about getting staged right away. Yeah, there are definitely ways I can get depths here. That is true. That is definitely true. I think I'm willing to risk it. Maybe. Yeah, my opponent can go Lotus Depths, and that's kind of the worst. I guess they could also go double Elvish Spirit Guide. Maybe I risked it too much. Maybe I risked it too much. All right. So I guess now my question is, am I just supposed to whack this stage? Is there any way I can't really die to I can't really die from this position to, I guess they can crop rotate it. I don't really want them to crop rotate it, so maybe I'm supposed to just hold this Wasteland. I am not very proficient against Dark Depths. I don't play much Legacy, so by all means correct me when I make when I'm making a mistake here. I definitely want to know how to play against it. As long as I hold my Wasteland, I can't die to get to like the combo, right? So basically they activate it. You let them choose the one that has no counters, and then you Wasteland it with the trigger on the stack. And I have Mental Misstep for Crop Rot, so I just don't think there's any reason to do anything, is my thing. And we also have lethal damage by activating our Stoneforge Mystic and putting in a Batterskull, we will have 10 damage. Okay, so they do have a Dark Depths, and we've determined that doesn't matter as long as I have a Wasteland, right? Max will definitely make me play it out correctly. That's definitely how Max is as a player. I think Max probably has a Spirit Guide. I don't know if there's any reason to show them the Strip Mine. Yeah, let's just fucking put a Strip Mine in play. What's the worst that could happen? All right, and I will attack for lethal. Yeah, I would. It's pretty much assumed if I have Wastelands. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't think about this. It actually only kills Batterskull. The question would be, do I care enough to put the Batterskull back into my hand? And the answer is no. I think I would rather just leave double activation open, right? Don't see any reason to put that back into my hand. I'm just going to cast this Preordain now that my opponent can't cast any more spells this turn because of Deafening Silence. I think I'm just going to bottom these, looking for like a force. Okay. So I can't die to like a Wasteland either, right? Because I have double Wasteland now. So if my opponent had like Wasteland, my Wasteland, Elvish Spirit Guide, make a 20/20, I could lose that game if I didn't have double Wasteland. I kind of am going back to this Wasteland on Savannah as not a very good play. I think I would have rather I had just Wastelanded the Thespian stage. I thought it was fine to Wasteland the Savannah because of it would be hard for them to make a 20/20, but now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like they probably do have 4 Elvish Spirit Guides. Then I probably was too greedy. So what do we want against? I haven't seen any recent lists from Pullman. I assume we want 4 swords, surgical. Maybe we want Flusterstorm, and maybe we want Rest in Peace. And then like Lavinia sucks. Negation sucks. I kind of don't want the Batterskull. Like I think in most games where you just don't need a Batterskull, right? Though they probably have Swords to Plowshares, so maybe we do need to grind through Swords to Plowshares, so maybe we do need this. I guess we don't really need Rest in Peace unless they're playing. I mean, can we assume they're playing Loam? Can we assume they're playing Graveyard Things? I feel like we want it. It's pretty bad against Force of Vigor, but Cauldron Complete is so good against Force of Vigor. It's pretty sweet. Maybe we can just take out a Cruise. I don't really feel like we need a Cruise in this matchup. I don't hate Jace in this matchup. We have to take out some more cards, though. Archon makes lands come into play tapped, so I think Archon should be good. It also flies. All right, I am going to take out Stoneforge Batterskull. I think I just need to make some space here, and maybe we just actually take out some Preordains. And we just battle like this. This looks fine. We have a lot of tools. I don't know. So I think my opponent's going to loam me. And they also play the 3/4. I think Rest in Peace is fine. So should I keep swords, wasteland, surgical? Yeah, I mean, I probably should. I don't think Rest in Peace is incredible, but I think they play like Loam and stuff like that. It could be bad. Typically, Knight of the Reliquary is too big for vintage, is what people do, but I hope my opponent kept in Deafening Silence. I did not. All right, I'm just going to what's it called? Also turns that off, which is nice. Rest in Peace also turns off Reclaimer being a threat, but Reclaimer is more of a threat just as a tutor than as a creature. We have 4 swords. I have no problem using a Reclaimer early, or using a swords early on a Reclaimer, so they can't get their game plan going. If they play their Thespian stage that they find, and I Wasteland and Surgical it, there's no way they can make 20/20s, right? I wouldn't think so. This is a lot of land drops. It's a little bit too many land drops, actually. A lot of mana. Fair. All right. So I can't, unfortunately, I can't Wasteland this Thespian stage because they can turn it into a forest, which is obviously Max is probably the most proficient player. I know. I don't want to show them that I have a Wasteland. Romulu. I don't want to show them I have a Wasteland. And now I can't actually Wasteland this Thespian stage because Max just knows what he's doing. I think I should play the Wasteland out now, though. If they Wasteland me back, I still can hit a Savannah, so it doesn't end up being pretty bad for me. So I do know like most of the little bits of like how Dark Depths plays from Legacy, but I just don't have a lot of reps. I've only played some small amounts of Legacy, so. But like I know I can't hit this stage because of the forest. Ghost Quarter. That's unfortunate. So now they can hit my Wasteland at any time. It looks like they don't have very much going on, but neither do we. Yeah, I think I'm just going to... Ooh. Hello there. Don't mind if I do. I don't see any way this backfires. I guess hard cast Mindbreak Trap, but I can't really beat that. Right. I drew swords, land. Am I out of lands yet? That's not what we're trying to do. I am actually out of basics now, which is quite unfortunate. Well, someone commented to me that I didn't have enough lands in my list after they played my deck, and I added a bunch of 3-drops. It's not really 19 land. It's more like the Noble Hierarch Bant Archon deck plays 18 lands, but they also play 4 Noble Hierarch. So I don't think 19 lands is like a terrible idea. Oh yeah, I mean I'm historically unlucky, Joe. You know this. I think I'm just playing a Tundra. Cast Once Upon a Time. So I could hit this Ghost Quarter right now. Then they can just... All right, whatever. I'm past it. let's just continue on here. All right, they found a Yavamaya's Cradle. I don't think that does anything. So my opponent isn't on Luris, which means that they are very likely on Elvish Spirit Guides. Jesus. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I don't really know. I feel like we're on Swords to Plowshares, their 2020 game plan. Don't really feel like we have very much counterplay. Oh, endurance. Okay, that is technically a threat. I can't do any wastelanding here, right? They would just respond. I mean, I could wasteland, force them to make a 2020, surgical their Dark Depths, and swords their 2020. Is that even is that a dumb idea? And just making them do it? I don't feel like that's a bad idea. They don't even have an endurance held up now to cycle their graveyard. I think this makes sense to me because they've already cast this endurance. Now they shouldn't even have counterplay against surgical extraction. I get to look at their hand, right? No reason not to do that. They have a Yavimaya, a Savannah, and a Savannah. All right, so we should just swords their thing and win this game. So they are on Elvish Spirit Guides, Elvish Reclaimers, multiple endurances. Yeah, I think it was just a misplay for them to put the endurance in play. It's a little hard for them to know about that, though. I think I can actually just swords both right now. Well, there's no reason to swords the endurance right now. I can just swords the 2020, and that should be good enough. And there is no loam, which is worth noting. I still think maybe, yeah, if there's no loam, we probably don't need rest in pieces if we play more. I don't see any reason to endurance this right now from the cards that are in their hand. Though they might concede, which is a good reason, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna crack this fetch so that I have a less chance of drawing more of these lands here. Buster, definitely not the strongest. Alright, whatever. I'll just fucking swords this thing. I definitely know he's played Loams in the past. Put it that way. So my opponent has 3 Elvish Spirit Guides, 3 Elvish Reclaimers, 4 Elvish Spirit Guides, 3 Elvish Reclaimers, 2 Endurance, and 2 Sylvan Safekeeper to win with. And as for tutor targets, they have a Sajiri's Step and a Blast Zone. All right, we found a Brainstorm. That should be pretty good for us here. Land, and crack. All right, yeah, we're just gonna go to the races here. Preordain. Surgical is not really necessary. Both of those kind of suck. Stoneforge. Maybe I should probe first while the cards are on the bottom. And I don't have a Batter Skull, but I do have a Cauldron complete. Should be good enough. There's really no way to answer a Cauldron complete. Even if they have needles, even if they needle Stoneforge, I actually am close to hard casting. I guess they're currently racing. I guess they are currently racing is something to say. We would be able to hold back our Cauldron complete at some point. I don't think that's right away. They do have 43 life. I don't have a Batter Skull, which is actually unfortunate in this exact scenario, but we just need to find an additional threat or another swords or something. We might hold back the Cauldron now. Well, we still have a Stoneforge. I drew multiple surgical extractions. Or maybe I'll just attack with the Stoneforge. I don't know. I guess they can get something past me with Sajiri's step, so I should definitely be blocking now. All right. I don't have any more. I don't have a Batter Skull in my deck, which makes this problematic. Maybe they'll concede to a Stoneforge here. Yeah, so we want like Teferi, Jace, Archon, Ancestral. I definitely don't want these Rest in Pieces. Well, this Rest in Piece makes this thing small. Mentor, yeah. I don't have enough to re-equip this Cauldron yet. I don't think I want to anyways. As they can't actually get the step through me if I have a white and a black card, so guess we're fine to just wait here. We have to hold open force for endurance. Thespian stage. Can they do anything with this Thespian stage? They can blast zone, and they have Mazavith, blast zone, strip mine, Sajiri's step, and wasteland. So we actually are kind of annoyed by the Mazavith as well, right? This is gonna take so long. I'm pretty sure we win most endgame sequences here, but it's gonna fucking take forever. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this. They're probably gonna name Cauldron. Because I didn't want them to like make a 20/20 by 3 mana every turn. I don't think hitting Thespian stage was better. You think hitting Thespian stage was actually better? I don't actually think it was better. Could be though. Oh my god, no. Why? I have one fetchable left. I guess this makes a forest mana, so it's fine. Green mana, a forest mana. Yes, Justin, a forest mana. Yep. My token is indestructible, so but the blast zone can kill 2 drops. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird game. Yeah. Blast Zone could go on 0 and hit my mock. Yeah, I mean, they could make me only have a Cauldron complete. It's true. I still don't think they can beat a Cauldron complete. Currently, they need to have. All right, they named Teferi. That's a good one. Are they gonna blast zone my zeros? Yeah, they can go wide of Cauldron Complete. This is true. I think we have plenty of game time. Max has just realized that my germ has indestructible. ZZZ 2021 cards. All right, they have Mazavith as well. All right. I would have liked the mental misstep before they needled my Teferi. We're going up to 2, I guess. Are we using more reclaiming here? Yeah, there's a lot of ways we win this game. My opponent doesn't have recursion for the blast zone. They do have 2 more Thespian stages. I could hit Thespian stage with surgical. I really don't want to take any damage because I don't want to just like randomly lose to Sajiri's step. None of these cards do anything. My opponent has stopped activating Reclaimer though. So I have a lot of cards that do things. That is true. And even my fetch lands are forests, which is nice. It's not that nice. It's not so nice that I want the forest. Oh my god. Max, why are we doing this? All right, boom, did it. Forest, Archon of Emiria. God. All right, cool. I have a clock. That also is like a 20-turn clock. Maybe I'm supposed to be attacked. Oh, they have a Mazavith. Shit. Okay, hold on. I need like multiple creatures, right? Because they have Mazavith. I guess theoretically Rest in Peace makes me be able to attack with 2 creatures as well. Oh my god, I drew an island. Yeah, I guess I also have Wastelands, right? It's just so stupid. Yeah, this is gonna take a long time. Don't think I'm supposed to counter this. I think I just have to counter like the Endurance or the Spirit Guide or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I win this game still in the long run, but it's just gonna take so long. All right, they got an Elvish Reclaimer. That one I will just snap a misstep off on. Very fast. Opponent decks first, yeah. Wonderful. Oh, Elvish. No, you don't want to exile Elvish Spirit Guide. Undo. Cast Elvish Spirit Guide. Do I force Elvish Spirit Guide, chat? I feel like I do. I feel like I'm supposed to force Elvish Spirit Guide. Okay, hello. They do have a Tabernacle, though. Do I wait on this Mentor until I find a Swords for this Reclaimer so that they don't get a Tabernacle on me? I guess they have a Blast Zone. I could also Surgical the other 2 Reclaimers. Yeah. I guess we don't need to. I don't know. I want to be able to hold up like Hardcast Force. Maybe that's dumb. Maybe I don't need that either. Now they can just Blast Zone my Mentor. They can Blast Zone on 3. Oh, they turned off my Risty Rainforests by sacking their Yavimaya for a Tabernacle. I don't know, chat. I kind of hate playing this mentor. I think it was bad. I think playing this mentor was bad. That was my intuition, but I don't know. I feel like I just need a Swords to Plowshares, right? And then this gets easier. If they play anything here, I'm just supposed to force it. Yeah, the germ is indestructible. This is true. Should I just drop both Stoneforges? I don't think I'm paying for this monk. Definitely paying for that monk. Yeah, I guess I'll pay for this. Don't have to pay for this. I'll let one of these Stoneforges go. Perfect. We're doing it. All right. Swords, ancestral, any order, whatever. Oh, I have an Archon. I have an Archon, chat. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Maybe I'll just let my Archon go next turn. I don't know. Jesus. Oh, this is so annoying. Yeah, I feel like this blast out on 0 is going to be really good as well. Feel like I don't want this to happen. Or I can just Swords this in response. And it's fine. I don't fucking know. I feel like I just Swords this. I think this Archon has got to go. He can actually play a second spell this turn. Activates Reclaimer. Oh, I'm going to get Sajiri stepped. God damn it. I'm playing so badly. I should have just forced it. I guess this doesn't matter. Wait, I didn't get Sajiri stepped? I got... Oh, they got second Thespian stage. Never mind. Okay. Oh, he said step in hand. Okay. Oh my god, what am I doing? All right, so we need to do some attacking here. Pay for this monk. Pay for this monk. Pay for this monk. I'm not paying for this stupid Archon. I'm not paying for the stupid Stoneforge. I'm not paying for the Phyrexian Germ. Draw a card. Yeah, that's a good one. Ancestral, target myself, draw cards. Swords the maze. Wait, they can't actually activate. Should I swords this blast zone? Maybe that's better. Wasteland. They can just blast zone next turn, so I think we want to just get rid of the tabernacle. They can Elvish Spirit Guide and maybe pay and make a different tabernacle. I guess that would be kind of annoying. I think the only thing that cares about my graveyard anymore is the Jace. I don't care about the Jace. He can't copy it unless he used the Elvish Spirit Guide, which he could have done, and I know that he has an Elvish Spirit Guide, so might have been a slight misplay there. I think I played the back part of this game quite poorly. But I don't think he can beat this now, so I don't think it matters. I mean, he has 2 blast zones to use to buy time, but I don't think that matters that much. Classic Max game. Maybe I should have... I don't think using these surgicals made sense. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Just need to force endurance. God, this game's stupid. I guess I'm now decking. Yeah, I can't. I don't think I'm allowed to cast these because of my life total, but I mean, I'm obviously not allowed to cast them because of Rest in Peace either. Do I want to cast this Archon, or do I want to just pass? I guess he can kill my mentor with one of these blast zones as well. God damn it, I'm gonna be stuck again. Alright. So one blast zone kills my monks and the other kills my mentor, and then I have to replay an Archon. Jeez. Every time I draw one of these fetch lands, I cry inside. I should have surgical Thespian Stage. That was a mistake. There's another Thespian Stage in play. Yeah, I should have surgical Thespian Stage, and that was my biggest mistake in this game. Yep, that was the biggest mistake in this game, was I did not surgical Thespian Stage. Now I can't actually counter 2 things, so maybe that was a mistake as well. Oh no. No, they can cast... Oh, wait. No, sorry. This is not Deafening Silence. You're right. They can only cast one. Yeah. So my problem here is... I don't actually have a problem here yet. I guess they can make a second Mazavith is the problem currently. They can like Spirit Guide here to pay for this if they want, I guess, which would be fine because that's one less creature. I don't know what Max's hand was, but I feel like Max made some weird plays too. So I'm currently winning on the board, right? Unless they turn this into a second Mazavith. I think just as a 1-2, I don't want this in play. Could be wrong, though. I think the only card that's... Nothing's... Endurance is the only one I must counter. There are 2 more Endurances in the deck. But I have so many forces. All right, so now they're on double maze. So now I need to find a second creature. I don't care about that. Well, I kind of do care about that because if I had flustered that, then if they have another green source, they can't play an endurance on my turn. They got to strip mine. Okay. All right. So now I can play a Narset on my turn. Like, no one can Wasteland. You can only strip mine. There's a Pithing Needle in play. Oh, I can't fucking Time Walk. Never mind. No, it's not perfect. There's still a Pithing Needle on Wasteland, chat. I actually don't have enough mana to hardcast at Force anymore. It's fun. Don't think I'm actually allowed to force that one anymore. I guess I get fucked here by an Endurance, but oh well. Having a bad time. I'm trying my best not to get fucked by the Endurance, but I keep playing into it. Like, I have to play a spell on my turn, so I can't actively play around the Endurance. Like, they have an Endurance here, it resolves, and I can't do anything about it. I don't know, I haven't thought that far. I really haven't thought that far. I really just haven't thought about it. They didn't have enough mana? They could have Elvish Spirit Guides. Yeah. So the biggest problem this game is I didn't take Thespian Stage with Surgical, and I should have, but I was like way too scared of getting stepped. Oh well. Yeah, I definitely didn't play that game ideally, for what it's worth. I was too concerned about my life total, but I should never have attacked with the first germ, and I should have surgical extract the other Thespian Stage so that this wasn't going to happen. Like, I was pretty sure everything I do there wins me the game. It just would take a while. Like, I don't think that game is actually losable from my side after taking Dark Depths. It just took way too long. But maybe it is. Who knows? All right, after a brief crash, we're back. We're playing against Juan. Juan is usually on colorful Golos shops, though no reveal of a companion here, so it could be something different. I've got Force, but I have no blue land. Can't keep this. Jesus. This is a really bad hand against Wasteland. I almost don't even want to keep this hand. I actually think I don't keep this hand. I don't think I've ever seen Juan not play a Wasteland deck. It's so bad. This hand's bad against every Wasteland deck. I'm just gonna mulligan this hand. Yeah, I guess this is our best hand. I'm gonna get rid of Swords and Archon and keep. And then what I'll do is I'll play Delta, and we can go like basic island, Wasteland for Wasteland, Merchant Scroll, Ancestral, and then go Mentor. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm a little concerned because Juan did keep on a 7-card hand. Oh wow, an island. Okay, so not Golos. So our starting hands could have been reasonable. Possible that our starting hands were reasonable. Looks like we're gonna get an 7-card Ancestral hand. That would be bad. I've never seen Juan play blue. Oh, we did not. And we did draw Cauldron Complete though. Yes, the stream briefly crashed. This did happen. All right, they do have Ancestral. Probably would have. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think we're back though. I did lose half my viewers, but okay. We're here for the magic anyways. I always wonder if like a large percentage of my viewers are from some embedded site. Because I only usually get like half the people to go into the raid. I don't know if that's normal or not. But it was like such a brief drop that you wouldn't really think that. I guess it's like 50 people, maybe 50 people are just AFK and then don't refresh, right? So maybe that does make sense. I feel like we're playing against PO or something and we're gonna get mollywopped here, but whatever. Should I wait to make sure I get a trigger? I don't think so. They're all bots. Fair. Especially that Cho Dayman guy. Very highly intelligent bot. I don't know. Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't cast my Ancestral Recall. So they have Ancestral into Hullbreacher Force. Okay, I don't think I'm winning this game. I did mulligan a 6-card hand that would have probably been pretty reasonable. It would have cast turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic into, if I draw a land, turn 3 and 4 Archon. So it could have been I got greedy by assuming that Juan would play Golos. All right, you got me. All right. Fluster, negation, trap, stony, serenity, 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 Stoneforge, Batterskull. Maybe I don't need 3 serenities, 2 serenities. I really don't have that many cards that suck. I feel like all these cards are good versus my opponent's deck. You know, maybe I just don't need any Stoneforge Mystics in this matchup. I mean, I've been pretty consistently streaming Wednesday nights. Obviously, Mythic Society events ending was a disappointment, but maybe I need more swords than this. I don't really feel like I do. I could play more swords though. I guess I could cut an island and play a swords, actually. I should have done that. Yeah, I should have cut an island because my opponent's not going to wasteland me. I'm not thrilled with this hand, but I don't really want to put it back. I also have a free peek at their hand, which is nice. Black Lotus, Hullbreacher, Days Undoing. All right, well, we're going to force this Hullbreacher, I'll tell you that much. Is this another turn 1? No, it's 1 mana short. Island, Soul Ring, Lotus. I guess if they draw a Moxen, it's turn 1. Definitely gonna force this. Maybe I should bring in more more swords. I really didn't feel like I needed to bring in more swords, but oh, what's up, Ryan? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna cast Merchant. It does run me into Fluster pretty bad, but I guess I could trap. How stupid is it to get a Mindbreak trap? It's probably worse than just getting another force, right? Maybe? Probably. It's kind of dumb to get an Ancestral if I know my opponent has a Hullbreacher, right? Right, I'm just gonna get another force. Bet they wish they cast their Hullbreacher before I did that. What do we got, opponent? This is unacceptable. Days Undoing, I might let resolve. Oh wow, they found Fluster. Okay. Are we getting fresh ones? No. We are not getting fresh ones. Unfortunate. Would have very much liked for us to get fresh ones. I don't think we're playing I could either play Serenity, which just kills a Soul Ring, basically. I just play this Lotus, and I really wish we got Days Undoing, but maybe this means that they're gonna draw, you know, a second Hullbreacher and really get me, you know. I hate this game. Well, my opponent drawing Flusterstorm Hullbreacher as their 2 draws in this game was good. It was good. Can anything actually get me out of this? I don't really think so. I don't really feel like playing it either, so we'll just take the L here. Hullbreacher. Someone queue up the Hullbreacher is a bad magic card in command in my chat, please. Oh, man. Too bad. I think it's so sad. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. We are now in round 4 after getting smacked around by Hullbreacher, per usual. This hand looks fine. Definitely gonna lose to combo, but ooh, can I get a bug player? Please don't ancestral me. Ah, man. Opponents, why you gotta be like that? I'm starting to see a trend here. The person who cast Ancestral is likely to win the game. Funny how that works. Oh, I got my Stoneforge Force pitching Force. What about my second Stoneforge? Have they heard of second Stoneforges? I'd love to see it. I would like Cauldra all complete, please. I'm not playing around Days. If they one of Days me, they one of Days me. I don't give a shit. Life's too short to play around one of Days. Fire away. Boom! Look how complete that Cauldra is. Incredible. It's the best germ you've ever seen. This germ don't clown around. This game's gonna be over quick. Oh, the germ! The germ! I'm the combo deck. I don't really know what my opponent's playing besides Tropical Island. I feel like they could have answered that with an Oko from their Tropical Island deck, so I don't exactly know why the concession happened. Really doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but yeah, so it makes it hard for me to really sideboard though, which I guess is a thing. Like if they're on Bug, I want 4 Swords to Plowshares, but if they're on Oath, I want Force of Negation Flusterstorm. We did beat an Oko earlier, but I felt like that was more of a anomaly than a given. Oko is an extremely hard card for my deck to deal with, especially with no like Council's Judgment or Prismatic Ending or, you know, splashing for Pyroblast. Oko's a pain in the ass. I don't know what my opponent's playing. If they're Oath or they're Bug, they both have Okos, so they shouldn't have conceded. So it's kind of perplexing to me. I don't exactly, maybe I should just keep my main board and just my main boarding plan here and just roll with it. I'm just gonna run it back because the Oath and the Bug decks will make me sideboard in two completely different ways. So I might as well just go down the middle. Yeah, I elect to keep this hand. Now I'm the Ancestral. Actually, my opponent cast turn 1 Ancestral and did not win that game. Kind of wild, if you ask me. I do kind of need this Ancestral to resolve or to draw lands, though. I think this hand's okay. I don't think it's great. I've definitely had better hands. All right. What? Guess they're naming Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to Ancestral in response. They're tapped out. I can only get dazed, I guess. I hate mental misstep. I hate mental misstep. I hate mental misstep. Not like this, chat. Not like this, chat. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. It's okay. We draw a land and we get to play our 2-drop army. Oh, easy game. It's just that easy. It's okay. We'll Ancestral again. Don't worry. I theoretically could play Lavinia there, but I just don't give a shit. Maybe I should have played Lavinia there. I probably should have played Lavinia there. Don't do this at home. Play Lavinia there. I should 100% play Lavinia. Jeez. This Jace does look good, though. Oh, they are a Wasteland deck. So is this just bug? Jace is better against Wasteland. Oh my god. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. Get this shit out of my house. Oh, it's too easy. Wombo said go next fast, but not for me. Call an ambulance. Nope. Yep. It's all ogre. It's all ogre. Rest in peace to my opponent for trying to tempo out the Stoneforge Mystic player. I'm about to lock them so hard. We're going to Lavinia, then we're going to Narset, then we're going to Archon, then we're going to Mentor. It's too late. I'm going to Wasteland, their Tropical Island. Am I going to Wasteland their Tropical Island? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I'll just dig through time on their end step, you know? It's good tempo play. Oh, yikes. I guess I should have done that in their upkeep in case they draw another land and have Fluster. Yeah, that was bad. We're on speed run mode here. All right, dig through time. It resolves. Thank you for asking. GG's. Ooh, baby, what's... Ooh. I thought we were so far behind, but yeah, actually, maybe Jace was better than Lavinia because of Wasteland. I'm just intuitively that smart. That's exactly what I was playing around. Here we are, 5th and final round. We're against Blue Skies J. I kind of expect to get tinkered here. As for this hand, I think you're just supposed to keep it because of Ancestral. But it's not really a super strong hand, even though it has Ancestral, and we could easily be in a huge deal of pain here. My opponent just plays like any standard Tinker start. Maybe that's a good enough reason. It's probably not a good enough reason to mulligan, but yeah, that's just demonic for Tinker, and we're dead, right? I guess it could be Doomsday, in which case it's demonic for Doomsday and we're dead, maybe? Hard to say. Negation's nice, though. Okay, they just went for Ancestral. Interesting. Definitely be willing to negate that. Obviously, we get flustered, but... yeah. What's a guy to do? What is a guy to do? Well, maybe I'll draw a Mental Misstep. This could theoretically still be any Underground Sea deck. Oh, fuck off! Alright, whatever, next. Yeah. Okay, you got me. You got me. You got me. It's okay, I still have Stoneforge. Oh, they hit no land drops. Interesting. It's okay, I still have the Stoneforge Mystic coming. What can they really do against Stoneforge Mystic? It's a 1-2. I'll have you know. If they don't have a kill in this turn, we could maybe Archon them too. Should be pretty good against all the Underground Sea decks that are not Bug. Blue? What? Blue? Needle in the main. Okay, so it is Saga, so it is Tinker. It could be 8 casts, or I guess 8 casts probably wouldn't play Underground Sea, so it's probably just Tinker Saga. Okay, we're actually probably winning this game then. Ooh, wow. Do I want to play an Archon or a Wasteland? Probably an Archon. I guess they have to not have drawn Force of Will, which is pretty unlikely if they missed on lands and they don't have any Moxen. Yeah, I mean, we're probably still dead, I guess. They just have to have drawn Force. The problem is Wastelanding them doesn't really get us anywhere fast because they have a top to spin. Like, they're just going to spin into a mana here anyways. Okay, so it is Esper Tinker, because we've seen Underground Sea and Needle in game 1. I guess it could technically still be PO. Alright, there's a Saga, which we have an answer for. And never mind. We have half an answer for. Okay, yeah, you got it. So if I Wasteland them, it taps them out of Flusterstorm mana, and I can cast Dig Through Time. Yep, that's a good one. That Time Walk was pretty annoying. I think losing the Ancestral is fine. Teferi plus... So if I take a Black Lotus... No, I don't need a Black Lotus. I guess I could just do Teferi on this turn and bounce Needle and put a Cauldron Complete into play. That's kind of an interesting play. I was thinking we probably have to bounce this Construct, though, because they have a Manifold key. But we currently race. It's kind of interesting. Oh, I don't have enough mana to do that. I guess we're just bouncing the construct. I don't know why I thought I did have enough mana to do that. Just how I drew it up, right? I think I'm gonna hold this brainstorm because I want to be able to get rid of both of these if possible. All right, I mean, my opponent does have an active topping key, so it's probably still likely we are losing at the moment, but... I don't know why I thought I had enough mana to bounce and activate. But I guess this thing will eventually tick back up to 3. So we have plans. Jeez, okay. Another Saga, yeah. Are they gonna draw cards with top? Yeah. I don't think I wanted to play Brainstorm. It's like really, really bad value. I don't think I would ever play Brainstorm there. Like, what's your outcome that you're looking for? Wait, did they just Vampiric with... What the fuck's happening? Yeah, but it's like, that's not gonna win me the game. Yeah, I guess my opponent's getting Tinker or Time Vaults. Now, like, we still have time to Brainstorm into a Forest. But we're, like, super unlikely to get blue card Force off of just Brainstorm, so... It's a lot better for us to... draw a card and then Brainstorm here. Jeez, it's so unfortunate because... Vault Key makes the Archon not very good, which is a problem. Like, if they were just tinkering for a Citadel, Archon is fine. But Vault Key makes it so it's not. So we actually have to hit blue card Force, which is asking for a lot. So we're dead. Yeah, our draws did not line up very well. I mean, we had to call her complete in our opener, but... Yeah. I don't really want to show them Archons, so... I'm just going to assume they're competent and we die. That is annoying that Archon actually isn't good against Manifold Key Vault. Right, I'm going to bring in Serenities and Stony Silence and Negation and Trap and Flusterstorm and a Swords to Plowshare. This is not the 4 Hullbreacher deck. It's probably the 2 Hullbreacher deck. And then I still think that's like Stoneforge Mystic is just bad. I think you don't need an island. I guess you don't really need a Plains is actually what you probably don't need. Because of Hullbreacher, stupid Hullbreacher. I think you have to keep it in. They also have like constructs. I think Swords is fine. Maybe you only need 2 swords in this matchup. It's not like they're the Days Undoing Hullbreacher deck, but they could easily be that. Like, that's the hard part, is it's hard to gauge how many Hullbreachers are in their deck. It could be 0 or it could be 4. You don't really know. I mean, I personally think I'd like to be closer to 0 than 4. Because I don't want to be the person playing Time Twisters in a format where people are playing a bunch of Hullbreachers, right? But people love to Hullbreach. It makes them have the feel goods. This hand's horrible. So bad. Not thrilled with this either, but I'm never keeping that opening hand. 0%. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Teferi because it's blue. Yeah, I guess I can go like that. It's fine. No. That's a losing hand. 100%. Bad hand. It's a trap. I don't really like my 6-card hand, not gonna lie to you. But I still don't think I would be keeping the 7-card hand. All right, this is a perfect Serenity opportunity. Though it does mean I'm going to draw into the Flusterstorm that I don't really want, but... This is exactly why I'm trying to play Serenity in this deck, because it just looks really good right here. My opponent's losing their land, their mana crypt, and they have to... what the fuck's happening? Are we getting double forced? No. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, alright. Fuck, man. I think we've just gotten a little outdrawn. So now I have to be a construct. Well, they can't play their top this turn, so they're just going to make a 2/2 construct. I wasteland them, but now I have to draw into lands. Yeah, it looks really bad for me. Don't want these cards. I need to just draw into lands here. Yeah. 2 forces is a lot of forces, unfortunately. We're pretty far from doing anything as well. We don't have like any lands. We don't have any spells that are castable. It's pretty bad. We don't actually erase the mana crypt. They drew a Tolarian Academy into an insect. Okay, all right, okay. Blue, he's too good. He's too good. It's too good. Yeah. I mean, I don't want. Okay, yeah. I can't imagine this could ever go better for them, right? Like, they're on Mana Crypt top. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely sad panda in this game. These are the kind of ones you have to brush them off the shoulder. They happen. It's vintage. You made the plays, but opponent had it better. So okay, we'll play this deck and we'll have exactly the same set of draws. Unfortunately, we're gonna have a huge break in between now and the prelim. I don't know what we're gonna do with that break. A Tinker? Oh, a Dig. Technically can stop this. It was quite the draw, though. I don't see my way. Okay, so if I draw a land and play an Archon, that limits them to 1 spell per turn. They do have an active mana crypt, and the race is pretty close. So there's theoretically worlds here where we can pull ahead. I am worried about swords, though. I think if we play an Archon and it resolves, maybe there's a shot. Oh no, they are drawing with top. Are you... What the fuck is this? I countered dig through time and they just, they just had Tinker too. Oh my... My opponent's so good. They're so good. Oh. Wow. Okay, well, still, if they get a Citadel and they have a land on the top of their library and we resolve an Archon, I think it's still winnable. And if they get a Sphinx and we draw a sword... What? Never mind. Never mind. There are no outs. There are... Never mind. Never mind. Well, who tinkers for Citadel anyways? That's so last year, you know? That's not... No, we don't do that here. Ooh, scam? Are we scamming? Oh my god. Hold on, we're scamming, we're scamming, we're scamming. We're scamming. We're scams, it's the scam. All right. Now I just need to draw land. I did bottom the preordain, maybe that was bad. Nah, just kidding, that was the best play. No, I'm not playing around Days. Stop it. They're an Urza Saga Esper Tinker deck. They don't play Days. Alright, so they did have the swords. I figured that might have been their last card. Alright, sweet. Still think it's better to get rid of Academy. If they had misstep, it would be... I would probably lose it. I don't know. They felt like this was a better plan. All right, the race is on. Black Lotus, huh? Don't really think this is a... I mean, if they play any artifact, I can't block, so it's probably always correct to attack. Did we show them Archon in game one? I don't feel like I showed them Archon in game one. We're wrong, though. Probe. What do you got over there, friend? Oh, maybe their last card was Bolas Citadel, and that's why they did not... Maybe that's why. Maybe their last card was Bolas Citadel. And they just top deck swords after we played the Archon. All right, so now they in 2 turns they'll be able to get rid of this Archon, but we do have a force. Ooh. 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 I don't think it matters which of the blue spells we take. Still can't play another spell this turn. Maybe we're actually supposed to just take negation and fluster, because this Archon doesn't change the clock. Oh, I guess I do need to block now because they found an artifact. Oh, now it's good I took the Archon, I guess. So this does work out for me. They can't spin it into... They can only spin into a... They can't spin into anything here. We're good. Yeah. Yeah, I think both of the plays work. Yeah, it's possible I was just supposed to take Force and Fluster and Force of Negation. This comes into play tapped, so they got second Tundra? It's kind of weird. Why would they get second Tundra? Don't they need 3 colors of mana for Prismatic Ending to win? I don't understand. I feel like I would have gotten an Underground Sea and just like tried to jam the Prismatic Ending. Okay. Wait, where did the construct go? Oh, the construct had 2 damage on it, so when they put the top away, it died to state-based actions. That's even better than countering it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't think I could lose. Well, I mean, I don't know. Are you talking about the Tinker plan? I do think that we should probably have lost that game somehow. My opponent outplayed, like, the cards my opponent cast were probably 10 times more powerful than the cards we cast, but... Alright, this hand's not keepable. This hand is kind of shit, but probably what we're keeping. This hand's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But I'm going to keep it. I'm a little concerned with the play my opponent made in regards to Tinker. Tinkering for Time Vault was interesting. It could have been right. I think they might have had the Citadel in their hand, which I guess makes a bunch of sense to Tinker for Time Vault if you have the Citadel in your hand. I probably should have played this Flooded over the Rainforest. Actually, no, I took the plains out. Never mind. Doesn't matter. EOT? Does that mean a vamp is happening here? I don't think I'm allowed to let this resolve because it can be Tinker. Which my opponent's what? Fucking every time, dude. You can only way to beat a bad player with a misstep is a good player with a misstep. Ooh. All right, I assume they're getting Ancestral then, though they could easily have like land, Mox, and then Tinker me. It's probably just Ancestral. That's an annoying one for sure. Okay. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Wasteland. All right, well, I'm going to Time Walk into a Narset, and then got a lot of play between Teferi and Swords. Interesting. Definitely think it's better to play a Narset here. I guess if they have force, it's still better to play in. I guess I would have to draw a land for my Teferi to be playable versus Saga. Wow, they have force. What am I gonna do? What's a guy to do? Teferi is non-land, if I remember. Oh, it's not non-land. All right, yes. I should have played Teferi and gotten it forced, but bounced Saga. Yes, you're right. I did not realize this was not non-land. Interesting. Needle. I assume this name is Stoneforge Mystic, right? Yeah, that makes sense too. If I hit a land, I can should have held your force. God, it's so sweet. They will still get a top here, which is pretty good. But good lord, it feels good right here. Feels good, man. Oh yeah, that is sweet justice. Nice Saga. They just get a top though. It's not that bad for them. But I did blank their Saga and their Mox and their Needle and their Academy kind of, so. Yeah, I think this is just a pretty easy top. Nothing else makes sense. I guess they could get a Lotus if they have something to cast, like a Citadel in their hand. Yeah, that would make sense. If they could get a Lotus if they have a Citadel to cast. Wow. Watch me get flustered here, chat. This is the most unreasonable game of all time. It's so sad. It's just so sad. Just sad day. All right, my turn to draw Ancestral. Unlucky, really. Ah, man. Blue Skies J does some things to me, and it hurts. It just really hurts. Draw Tinker? Yeah. Yeah, they drew Tinker. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good too. Blue Sky, I swear, I think every game I've ever played in a, I don't know about challenges, but in leagues, every match I ever play against Blue Skies, it goes like this. They murder me with the most absurd shit. Just always the answer. I think we're very much going to lose this game now. I guess I could draw another Serenity. Theoretically playable Magic card. Where's my Ancestral? That's the real question here. Where is it? Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Never mind. Who am I kidding? God, if my opponent's so good. So good. Impressive. All right, well, we did money back. I do think this deck has something going for it, but I don't know if you can actually beat Esper Tinker with this if they draw, like, especially if they draw well. Why would you say Saga is broken? Saga didn't do shit. Saga was a liability. They just drew Tinker every game. Saga was the reason Serenity was like a knockout 100% to kill them, they lose. Slasher, you guys in your Saga worship is just like so weird to me. But I mean, if you draw Ancestral and Tinker in every game, it is obviously going to be one of the strongest decks in the format. Not much to do there. I do think that this deck should have a lot of playability against it, and I did think Serenity looked really, really strong. Overall, this deck is obviously clunky, slow, and underpowered. I'm not sold on these Archons. These Archons are a lot better against Pio and Doomsday, but they don't seem like they're that good against Esper Tinker, because it just feels like you're dead before you get a chance to put this into play. I mean, this should theoretically be good against Esper Tinker, but yeah. I did mention that at the start of the stream, is we're not playing a full set of Moxen, so it's a little bit harder to get to Archon, and we don't have like a Noble Hierarch to help us get there. So I'm not really sure. I don't really know what the play is. I really don't want to put a full set. I mean, I could just put 3 Mox into my deck and trim like Preordain and Lavinia or something. I guess I would have to trim some lands at that point as well. Definitely go down to 18 lands. And it's not the worst thing. I think you probably just cut Lavinia at that point, or have Lavinia as a sideboard. I don't want to splash red. I really don't want to splash red. I don't actually think that helps you very much in any matchup, really. I don't think... Like, Pyroblast is good against, obviously, Tinker, but it's pretty bad against... I guess it's... I mean, you still have all your other cards that are good against Saga. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. I want to play Wasteland is the key, and I'm not sure how if you are really allowed to play red. I guess it gets a little bit better. You get the Ruby. You probably can pull it off. I don't know. I had a section of time where I was trying to play Max Basics. I actually don't think you need to play Max Basics anymore. I don't think you need to play Max Basics anymore, because I think the format's actually not as Wasteland heavy before because of how big a meta share Tinker is. A little weird. It's weird because Wasteland is still good against all the decks in the format, but it's just there are so many more people playing Tinker decks that just like the number of Wastelands is overall down. It's a weird phenomenon. Anyways, I think this deck is cool. I wish I would work on it a little bit more, but I don't think it's really worth it. It's a cool like challenge deck, and there's definitely something here. I definitely don't hate Stoneforge Mystic Cauldron Complete. I think Cauldron Complete has really changed my viewpoint on Stoneforge Mystic and Vintage. This card is really, really strong, and the clock is fast. It's hard to answer. It's good against a wide variety of decks. That's the biggest takeaway I think that I've had so far, is that I really do think Cauldron Complete Stoneforge Mystic is a lot like... Stoneforge Mystic was not viable when it only got Batterskull, but now that it gets Cauldron Complete, I think there's like some incentive there. So yeah, if you watched all the way to the end of this video on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, boost the algorithm. We're gonna be playing a prelim in half an hour from now, so there will be another video up on the following day from whenever this comes out. And I will catch you in the next video.